Greetings, divers. Today I want to talk about something that it's been on my mind for a while now, and I feel like it's probably time to finally address it and put forth a potential solution. Now, this is going to be more or less an opinion-based video on something that I've been thinking about for a while, but maybe my thoughts are not exactly what it should be, so feel free to critique and offer your own solutions down in the comments. But the topic of today's video is on the armor and perk system in Helldivers 2. So, recently, Arrowhead just announced the new warbond coming this week, this Thursday, with a brand new passive perk called Unflinching. Now, Unflinching basically reduces the flinch when you're hit. It's exactly as you would expect. So, I'm happy to hear that because, for one, I often think I get flinched way too much, especially when fighting bots. I've always wanted a manner or method of which to reduce that. So I'm glad to see that they're finally giving us that. On the other hand, it reinforces my overall feeling on perks and how I really hate giving up one or two things just to get one very specific thing. So, today I want to propose a potential solution. Whether or not anybody at Arrowhead sees this, I don't know. I'm probably going to post it to Reddit too, so there can be some discussion there. But let's dive in. So, in the traditional armor system, we have all of these different levels of light armor. I shouldn't say levels, you have different styles. But you do have some differing levels. Like this one has 70% armor rating, whereas this has 50. So there are some different variations, but everybody has a different perk passive, or different armor passive that's called a perk. So I don't hate this system, and in general, I actually don't mind, games sticking to an in-universe explanation for different armors. That's totally fine generally. In fact, most of the time these days, I'm okay with it because microtransactions and skins in general have gotten out of control to where, you just throw on any skin and it has no meaning. It's just a skin. However, in Helldivers, I actually wouldn't be so against that because there are times when I actually want to equip different styles of armor, but because of the perk, I feel restricted in not doing so. So I have an idea that I would prefer Arrowhead implement, and this is just an idea, but I think it's very simple. First and foremost, I would separate perks from the armor system. So I would say, pick whichever armor you want, and the only difference between the armors are the different types of ratings, the speed, the stamina regen, and instead of it being a perk, I would throw in the Unflinching perk passive as a stat. So I would have different levels of flinch resist. So let's say you have light armor. You would have 0% flinch resist, okay? If you're wearing light armor, you're going to get flinched hard. Okay, that makes sense. It's a sacrifice you're making for extra speed and stamina regen. Moving down to medium, you could say, okay, you get 25% flinch resist. Hard, 50%, whatever. That's for them to figure out. But in my opinion, I would make flinch a stat that sort of scales with armor. And if possible, I would make flinch also do double duty and have it also cover ragdolls. So if you're a light armor, you're going to get heavy ragdolls. If you're a medium armor, you're going to ragdoll some, but not as bad. And if you're heavier armor, you're going to ragdoll very little. You'll get knocked over occasionally, but most blows you should be able to absorb. You shouldn't be getting launched across the map with heavy armor, in my opinion. I think there should be more reward for wearing heavy armor, personally. So I would have flinch be an extra stat. In fact, if you look at the stat screen, it's almost like there's extra room right there. You could have flinch resist right under stamina regen, and it would fit perfectly. And that would be a scalable stat just like all the others. So that's how I would solve that new perk passive. Personally, I would make it a stat that scales with armor levels. Secondly, this is a personal request, but I would really like to see perks be separated from armor types. So I don't know if they could do this in a way where you have light armor perks, medium armor perks, and heavy armor perks. I think that could work. But I want to basically just have the drip. Like, just take perks off of armor completely, let it be a separate category that you can equip. So maybe what they could do, if they still want to have some sort of, categories or levels, you could only have certain light armor perks. Like maybe light armor only has access to the engineering kit, and maybe it doesn't have access to fortified. Maybe that's a medium and heavy armor perk. I don't know how they want to do it, but maybe you could just have 2 or 3 perks for light armor, 2 or 3 perks for medium and heavy. You could do that, or you could literally just let any perk be chosen for any armor. I would prefer that, but I would understand if they went the other way. But personally, that's it. I just want to see perks separated. I want to be able to go look at my closet here, look at my armory, and say, you know what? I want to put together this. I want to put together this helmet over here because I've been wanting to wear this for a while, but I hate the perk on it. So I want to do this. I want to do this up here. If it'll load. There we go. I love this look. It's very Mass Effect to me. So, I mean, I'm just never going to use the electrical conduit. It's not useful 95% of the time. It provides 95% resistant arc damage, but hardly anybody uses arc in this game. I feel like I'm the only one that ever does. And so unless I'm going to sit by a Tesla tower, it's not that useful. And it feels like I'd be far better served by using another armor with a better perk. And so what I would really love Arrowhead to do is to just separate the perks from the armor. That's it. That's as simple as this is. Just let us pick our armor and have another tab up here at the top that's perks. And we can equip a different perk with whatever armor we want. And if they want to segment that out by medium, heavy, light, whatever they think is best. But honestly, that would be my solution to the drip system, as I like to call it. Because Helldivers has awesome drip. It really does. My friend and I will literally come to the armory and just spend a couple minutes there trying to decide on drip, and then sometimes we'll even kit it with certain weapons because it just looks really good. It looks cool, and especially with the new warbond coming out soon, they've got a red and black theme going with the weapons, and they also have the white armor. So your drip is going to be on point. Like if you want to go red and black trooper, you've got it on point. But maybe you don't want the unflinching passive. Like maybe you don't want to sacrifice those 2 extra grenades, or maybe you want the democracy protects, passive. So I just think there's a better way to do this that doesn't sort of gate off other armors that just never get used. Like I'm sure Arrowhead can look at their data and see that basically nobody's using electrical conduit, because I rarely ever see anybody running these armors. Now, I'm sure some people do. If you're out there, that's fine. I'm sure you do. Occasionally I do, but I swear it's like 5% of the time, if that. And so I don't hate the concept of it being situational and you choosing the armor that best fits the situation. But I do think in the case of Helldivers, where we have a limited selection of armors and some of them look really, really cool, I want to be able to just pick the armor that I want to wear. I don't want to worry about a perk. I want to be able to slot whatever perk I want. So I know that maybe it won't necessarily fit with some of the designs. Like obviously some of these have like extra grenades on them, if I can find the one I'm thinking of. Is it this guy? So this guy has extra grenades, even though I'm pretty sure they're like grenade launcher grenades. But that kind of fits with the engineering kit, right? Like it looks like it would go with it. This one, he's not holding extra grenades. Like there's nothing about this that says it has to be engineering. There's also nothing about this that looks like it's fortified. If anything, this guy looks like he would have extra ammo or something. So I don't think it has to be that specific. Again, here's another guy with the grenades on his little bandolier there on his chest. So I just think there's other ways to do this in a way that allows more freedom for people to equip the drip they want. So that's it. That's really as simple as I would make it. I would just separate drips as a standard separate category, and just let people equip the ones they want and equip it with whatever level of armor they want. And I would also make flinch a stat in the game that scales with armor. Because I think if you're wearing medium to heavy armor, which you should be wearing against bots, you need to have some level of flinch resist without just having to use the flinch passive. So that's pretty much it. Quick video I want to throw out. It's been something that's been stewing inside of me for a while because I love the drip in this game and I feel very restricted at times, which is frustrating because I tend to love the servo assist when I go against bots. And I only have, what, 2 armors? Well, I have 3 armors. I can only run these 3 armors that are heavy against bots, and that's frustrating, man. Like, I love some of these other armor kits, but I can never run them because if I want servo assist, I have to run 3. Now, some of you may like that restriction, and you may feel like it's more immersive or whatever, but personally, I just want to be able to equip the armor that looks the coolest, and be able to slot in whatever perk I want. I just think it creates more freedom, and it would just be a lot more fun to play around with. In addition to that, I really hope we get some sort of weapon customization one day, but that's a whole separate video. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to throw this out there really quickly. No editing, no pre-planning, no script, no nothing. Just something that I've been thinking about for a while. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know if it's a stupid idea. Let me know if it's a great idea. Or elaborate on it. You know, maybe add to it. Maybe if you got something better, let me know. So that's all I got for today. Y'all keep fighting for liberty, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Take care.